The first beta of the new iOS 26.1 has been released for almost 2 weeks now, and of course it is time for a new beta to come out with new features and changes, and of course hopefully a lot of improvements and battery improvements as well. So in today's video we're going to talk about the release of the new iOS 26.1 beta 2, but we also have some more features to talk about which make this update really great. Now before we get into all that, I just want to ask you guys for a really quick favor. Most of you guys that watch my videos are still not subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the videos and you want to see more of them, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. And we're starting things off with some more new features that we have been able to discover on the first beta of the new iOS 26.1. Now previously I showed you guys a pretty cool new feature that Apple has actually added or changed, whatever you want to call it, to the select menu. So when you select the text, you see you cannot actually no longer like swipe here to see all the different things that we have here, all the different tools. Now we have that button which will basically bring up this new menu. But what you can do right here, another thing, you can see that if I swipe like this, you can see this arrow right there starts to turn like downwards. So if I just swipe like this right here, it should bring up the menu. So like this, and you can see it brings down the menu, which is actually more useful than you actually trying to reach for that button. So you just swipe like that from the right to the left and you get the full menu. There are also a couple of changes with the album art on the lock screen. As you probably know, with iOS 26 now we can get the full lock screen as the album art. It looks really awesome, and now the animation has changed here when you go to the lock screen like this. So it's hard of course to notice it from here if you have a device on iOS 26 and you compare it to the new iOS 26.1. you will notice the animation difference here when you swipe, when you actually just like lock the device and go from your home screen to the lock screen. Another change you will notice on the lock screen is that when swiping up to go to your home screen, the album art actually won't move. Now previously it would swipe up with the screen, but now you can see it stays on its place and you will swipe up the other elements of the lock screen and unlock your device. Previously this would go alongside with this and would just swipe up. Now it stays like that until you actually unlock your device. We also have a change here on the Watch app. So if you have an Apple Watch and you go to update it, you will see now the redesigned screen here for updating your Apple Watch, of course, matching the new design of the new iOS 26. And if you have home devices and you use the home widgets on the control center of your iOS 26 device, you will notice now that the devices that are not responding will actually have this exclamation point right there. That little icon that you see on a few of them right here indicates that those devices are actually not responding. And now before we talk about the release date of iOS 26.1 Beta 2, let's quickly talk about some more details regarding this current update, which is Beta 1. First of all, the performance, it is actually really good. And it will show also in numbers here. As you can see, the Geekbench test with Geekbench 6 here shows amazing numbers for iOS 26.1 Beta 1. So 2,986 on the single core score, while the multi-core score is at 7,709, and this is the best score I got on the iPhone 15 Pro Max on any iOS version. It's actually really good, and hopefully this will continue to improve with the next beta as well. Now, one thing that has to improve is the battery life. I'm really hoping that Apple will focus a lot more on the battery life with the next updates. So here's what I got on this device with the battery health at 88%. And you will notice it right here. If we go to the battery usage, this is basically 100% here, and the average I'm getting is 6 hours and 30 minutes. It is not bad for a battery health at 88%, but it could be better, and it was actually better. I used to get around 8 hours on the betas of iOS 26 with beta 6 and beta 7. It was actually much better. And you can see here, basically that's why we're getting 6.5 hours on average on a 100% charge. That is, of course, again, not the worst ever, but it's not that good. And hopefully they will have time, of course, to improve this and adjust this and hopefully get a way better battery life, especially for older devices and the newer devices that actually have a smaller battery like the new iPhone Air. And now let's talk about the release date of the next beta. Well, most likely this Monday will be the release of the second beta. So last week, the week previously actually was the week which Apple released the first beta, and that has been almost 2 weeks now. The 2-week cycle for the first releases, we expected this to happen. We talked about this on previous videos as well. So now the 6th of October should be the date that Apple actually releases the second beta of iOS 26, not 26.1. Now take a look back at history and how Apple has done things and how they have released updates. I would expect them actually to go on a weekly schedule from now on. So and then this Monday we're getting the second beta, October the 6th, and then I would expect another beta to be released on the 13th, and then most likely we will have another one on the 20th, if not the RC. So either we have the 3 betas or 4 betas for iOS 26.1. I don't expect them to release more betas because we will also have then a new beta cycle for iOS 26.2, which should be released before the end of December, before the holidays. Most likely towards the middle of December we will have another public release of iOS 26.2. so that's why I believe this should be released either in the last week of October or the first week of November. So the 27th of October or the 3rd of November should be the dates that Apple releases iOS 26 to the public. So next week, this Monday, expect another beta, then beta 3 right here on the 13th, and then on the 20th, we either get the RC or the beta 4. So these are the 2 dates that I'm expecting actually Apple to release iOS 26.1 to the public. So what should you do? Should you update or not to the new iOS 26? Well, if the battery is not a very big problem for you, and if you have a newer device, it shouldn't be, you just should be okay with iOS 26.1, then go ahead and update. There are a few new features that are actually pretty cool, and a lot of people are actually having a really good experience with this update, especially with the newer devices. I've seen reports from different people stating that iOS 26.1 is actually much better than iOS 26. So with the release of the second beta, I think it might be time for you to actually update if you just have actually a newer device with an okay battery when it comes to battery health. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. iOS 26.1 overall a great update, and again it has some really cool new features. Even though it is not packed with a lot of them, iOS 26.2 should be the one that will bring a lot more new features to the new iOS 26. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you find it helpful. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and of course subscribe for more updates and more iOS 26 videos, and I will see you guys on the next one.